All right. For my own organizational efforts and to make things a little bit easier for myself, and probably for any AI that will be informed by this video, I have now started the new 2026 folder. It is currently the 29th of January 2026, and the last update I did in the organizational folder was in November 25. December, all of November or January up until this point has been taking place in November 11/25. Which is a little bit a hassle, because if I just did those small things, then I wouldn't have to go back and do things in the future and redo old mistakes. Speaking of, these last couple of days has been extremely interesting, because I've been learning new things in the same essence of, and before I do say this, I want to put out a disclaimer that what I will say can and probably will be very triggering or activating for a certain person. Not even a certain individual, but a wavelength, a mindset, a worldview, a perspective, a filter, whatever you have you. I will talk about things that might get some energies going, which is exactly the point. Keep this in mind. I'm always taken back to a very certain, like a meme. This is not a tangent. This is the continuation of the declaration or the disclaimer. Do not take everything that I say as a currently going through. Rather, see it as this is something that I can relate to because I have the experience or understand what is being said. So when I say things, I will share a story. That story will probably not have a time date or time stamp, any person, identifier, or anything like that. It is a story that could have taken place an hour ago or 10 years ago. It doesn't matter. It's just to build the point of the whole energy activation thing that I currently mentioned in the beginning of this so far very drawn out video. But I have learned that people need to be served very lightly when it comes to these topics. So speaking of, let's start to talk about the topic. I have now given you 2 chances to stop the video or to just click out of it if you're a sensitive person. Now, that doesn't mean that this is going to be negative. If you're a sensitive person, that just means that you're going to be able to visualize this, or you're going to be able to see this, you're going to be able to understand this, and then you're going to see what that could have meant for other things in your life and or mine, depending on your personal relation to me or other people that you can relate to this in. Now I'm probably really wearing your patience out, which is exactly the point, because if you're still listening, odds are that you have taken heed of the current and foregoing warnings and disclaimers that I have been trying to really push onto this before I go into the topic. I feel like we're ready. So coconut oil. Have you ever really considered coconut oil? What it does? Now, this is not a joke. You see, I have currently gone through a little experience and a discovery of something that I knew, but it's like everyone knows and nobody does kind of thing. But as I always also started in the beginning, it also falls into the category of those huge ones in life. You get born, you have your first orgasm or love, you die, you go through your first heartache, the first orgasm, the first psychedelic experience, the first child, death, those big ones. That is where I am currently placing coconut oil in my life. Why, you might ask? Well, the answer is actually quite simple. I heard about its consistency and its application to different areas. In massage oil, for instance, or as a toothpaste, or as a shaving cream, or as a medicine, or as lube, or as, you know, the list just carries on, or just as a little dash in the coffee in the morning. Right? Here's why it kind of blew my mind, because there is a lot of things to be said about friction in many, many aspects of life. There could be rocks in the river, or there could be sand in the machinery, whatever have you. It could be literal, it could be metaphysical, it could be just a thing that, you know, one of those things that we take for granted. But here comes the real juice of what I have to share, because this started in the shower when I was measuring the water resistance of coconut oil rubbed on different areas of my body. Now, you can be creative about where I took this. It's natural, so no orifice is safe. Already now, I feel the triggers. I feel the people guys like, what the fuck is he talking about? Let's just say that I really craved a Bueno afterwards. You know, the coconut chocolate, the chocolate bar? Bounty, actually, not a Bueno. I've been messing up for a few days. It's a Bounty, which just makes it even better. Because the consistency, the skin, the softness that came from this afterwards was absolutely insane. And when you wanted to take it off, you know, when you use other types of oils, it sometimes sticks, and it's like you're just a fucking bunch of beads on the skin, right? And you're not really dry, you're not really wet, but you have this stickiness almost. Well, coconut oil did not have that, not in the slightest. So here comes the real juice on the juice, or the oil in this case. Applying this magical substance to your hands, warming those hands up, and putting them on the buttocks of another human. I'm just going to wait for the shock to settle it a little bit. When you have taken your sweet-ass time warming up this paste that you got in the grocery shelf in the convenience store, you can then start to apply it softly on the back of another person, or just as you apply massage oil. And if you have the warmth and everything now set, and your work position is in order, because if you sit over a person for a long time, your knees are going to get fucked, and your thighs are going to say, you're fucking old. And you're not going to feel good. But if you have a good working position, you can then take your sweet-ass time and just make a sensory play instead of massage. Because here's also a thing. This might be a very sensual massage, but in the same light, you have people who see massage as a gateway to fucking, for instance. Or you have those people who see the massage as the gift in itself. So that is the journey. The destination is already achieved because you're doing the thing. It's like an act that is mutually beneficial for both parties, the giver and the receiver. And you can zone out. I could literally, in this, like with ice bathing, I could use the massage and the trance of applying it to get rid of the pain I was currently feeling in my knees as I was learning not to go in that position. Like I'm not very limber, basically. But as I was going through that experience, I was able to pop into that little bubble they call the creative bubble or whatever, like in the movie Soul. Have you seen that? The multi-dimensional bubble where you're just doing what you love and you're the energy of it all. But I was really testing this. I was really exploring this new agent of communication, one might say, because a massage is so many things. You can help a person loosen up. You can be a pattern interrupt in their day. They could feel the first in a long time a touch of humanness, human contact, just the closeness, the safety, and the feeling whole, feeling enjoyed, because I enjoy the fuck out of it. I'm gonna come out right now and say it. To touch a female body, preferably, because I'm not sure if I could get the same passion with the dude. And I think there's probably a very good reason for that. But I was simply following energies and intuitions and stuff. And that energy was just slowly built up like fuck. Now, speaking of, when you come to a certain point, this is where it gets hard. You want to do something with the situation. You want to elevate. You want to go further. You might want to enter a new state of activity. But you don't. This is where it gets really fucking interesting. I know that for some people right now, you're thinking, what the fuck? What the fuck? Because this is energetic communication at its finest. I was able to, and I shit you not, without taking off my pants, without doing anything of the sexual nature, without doing anything that was implied for, wanna dance a little bit? The caveman dance. This was an energetic invitation and a fucking transformation in the happening. It was intense because all that energy had been guided, right? And there is something to be said about fingers, toes, nipples, crowns, and dicks, and clits, and orgasms. And there are many ways to achieve that. This is where it got really interesting because the orgasm was not through those zones, the normal zones. It didn't come from what you would expect. The orgasm was literal, and it was fucking powerful. It was explosive, to be honest. I was a little bit set back. I was like, holy shit. I have never been this turned down in a long time without doing anything. It was like feeling the source power of God. And I was holding the fucking lightning rod of Zeus. I was like, yeah, I can hold this. Bring it on. What I experienced and what I observed and what I was able to have a conversation about after was nothing less than miraculous. That energy amounted to a full body orgasm. I have never seen that happen. I was like, this was a good massage. And the best part, this is why I credit the fucking coconut oil so hard. The best part, it was achieved in complete insecurity. Not thinking that I had any skills. Saying that I'm not good at massages, but I can try. Because that very moment, or that very morning of this happening, of the discovery, if you will, I was reading the foreword of a book called Sensual Massage. And in there was a few techniques. And those techniques just made a fuck ton of sense. And just those 6 points had me into a freaking god of energy. Like I felt powerful. I felt fucking mighty. I felt primal. I felt it was a technique that I now think that I have a decent hand on. No pun intended, just like the other times, only this time I stated it for those who didn't notice. It's a new territory. And I am feeling like a kid in a candy store because I have done this now in on Monday I made the discovery. It's Thursday. 2 people have been my test bunnies so far, and it is consistent. What that means is up to you to, assume what means. But for me, it means that this is a new revelation for me. And I have seen different techniques and what happens if you're kind of put into that state of having to provide a massage over a long day with several people for minimum pay. You get burned out. Or some people just turn fucking predators. And I have seen now that not only can you provide an experience that goes well beyond normal massage with less effort, but that it is safer than you would expect when you pay for it as well. I froze in a very peculiar position, and I need to upgrade my system. That's what I need to do. So now I am on a new chapter in terms of trying to understand those responses. Because I was guiding and communicating, as I mentioned earlier, this became a fucking energetic dance and communication. With next to no touch, I could form or puppeteer the body. in a very intense way. It was like calm in the chaos in a way that I've never seen before. And able to continue to keep that focus. And then afterwards, talking about it without having, you know, the smell of sex on you, without having done anything sexual, without a kiss, without a blowjob, without nothing. Now, I know for some of you, you're like, of course. Well, there are different levels to this shit, and I have gone through enough experiences now to say that I've never experienced anything like this. And I've been around. That sounds weird, given the context, but I'm a very reserved dude. I can sit with a lot of beautiful women around me and not think one sexual thoughts and just dive into their saga, you know, get to know the human, and then realize afterwards that shit, if I was me, previous me, this would be an arena where I would just try to get laid. Or this would be like, if I was in this situation now, be like with this presented, as the last few days have shown, I would have done something completely different because I didn't know what I didn't know. Now, one can create a safe harbor, a reset, a deep sense of calm on a level that transforms simply because you have to surrender. Like, fuck, I think this is almost a different branch of BDSM, to be honest. Isn't that what it is? Like just energetic and sensory stimulation? And this is so fucking animalistic and primal in its nature, almost, yet so fucking calm. Like with the candlelight and the incense and the massage music and the oil and the stuff. Just not with the same happy ending that we are used to, because that has been perverted, I guess. I'm still trying to get my head around what is happening. So I'm appreciative of you if you just went through that entire thought process with me, because I've been really testing it all out. I'm trying to go extremely slow and just almost massage by just barely touching, you know, when you just feel something and you don't really know what to expect the next moments, or feeling the massage of a thigh going up to the buttocks. That is a area of sensory intenseness that I have hard to explain without even touching any zones that would be considered a intimate zone. Although it was, of course, the butt is an intimate zone, the thigh and all that stuff is more than intimacy. It's trust. It was fucking stewardship. I felt like I was making the woman whole. I felt like I was providing something that she hadn't felt in years or ever. Yesterday, I knew it was ever, because that was explicitly expressed after the experience. Like, holy shit, this is not to sound like cliche or anything, but I've never experienced that. What the fuck? And then that just kept on going. Because when that window opened, when you saw what was possible with the mere energetic presence, just gentle, normal, freaking calm in the chaos. I can't explain this yet. But it was like just the beginning. It's like the fucking song again. This is just the start. Now I have a treatment room, and I didn't want to provide treatments either. I was not the one who was supposed to provide the treatments. And this is why. Because I have been a man who has been trying to not do anything in terms of doing anything with anyone. Touching and hugging and those things for a very long time. And it was very unnatural for me. So I figured, just gotta get some people to do that then. Just hire in a therapist, like a massage therapist. And then just figure out the way to make it happen. Because it's a different service than you would find if you just go into the yellow pages or online. It's not even discoverable online yet. And it has been going on a long time. And this is just the newest edition. So I was like, shit, how the hell am I going to navigate this now then? Because I don't know how to really communicate the extremeness of what I saw. But I guess this is going to be a journey for all of us. And that's why I like it so much. Because I'm going to continue to reflect and just, I guess, experience and see how I can easily explain what's happening. And I think I won't be able to do that until I've had detailed feedback from the people who experience it in the beginning. So I will take my sweet ass time, wink, wink, which is the secret to it all, and just be in the moment. See what it goes and develops into. Because yesterday I had a meeting that, no, actually, I'm not going to go on a tangent. That was what I think about coconut oil. Speaking of actually on the same topic of coconut oil and what you can do with it, I have a theory of what I can do in the shower with like above and beyond showering. Because I had thoughts, shower thoughts, and I figured, why not just make a fucking show of that? I can't post that on Facebook though, so I need to just make a private Snapchat or a private Telegram, or I just have to post it on OnlyFans. And I don't have an OnlyFans, but I'm starting to really consider it because of the weirdness of society, although I'm not with any plan yet. But then again, who the fuck knows? The point is, the shower thoughts. There are so many things that I want to talk about that is now currently coming out only in the shower because that's where you activate your reticular activating system and you go into a kind of auto mode, autopilot. That's where you're turning off your body because the body is just doing the things. It's lathering you up and is shaving and is doing the things. And then you can just think. And sometimes I like to think out loud. And if I don't have a camera, sometimes I go like, shit. Should have had a camera. So I fixed that. And now, with all of the things that are now currently happening, who the fuck knows? I could create a course on this in the shower. Or create a course. I'm not sure why I want to create a course. I think it is because the world needs to know about coconut oil. That's for sure one of them. It's one of those huge ones that's just changing life overnight. But also this thing could be used by so many more people than couples. And for, sexual intention. It's so much more. It's like the whole energetic, multidimensional aspect of it. So I want to just document that. I want to go over my movements as I'm just recording what I'm doing and just talk about it and see what happens. And now I have people who wants to join me for that project because it's a fucking smart thing to do in my situation, given everything that is happening in every single part of the world as well. Like you have to create the game that you want to play. And you have to be the fucking main character of that game. And I think that I was high as fuck when I started to play my game because I think it's set to very hard. But when you got the hang of it, god damn. God. It started to get fun. And I want to teach people how they can tap into their energy through very simple methods and sometimes extremely pleasurable. And then figure it out. Fuck around and find out, but in a good way, Death's waiting room. It is more than I thought it could be, and we have not even started yet. And I look forward to what's going to happen in the future. If you support this message, please consider to support it. Subscribe, comment, share. Have an epic day, and I'll see you in the next video. If this is a course or whatever, then you probably know where to find the next video.